Share better. The recording has started. Muted.
Of Vibe Direct itself. Vibe Direct is in Irving, Texas, as you will know more about them as you hear us talk about the company. Actually, we're going to share a little bit from one of our founders and one of the owners of Vibe Direct, Dan Robinson, here in a little bit, and you'll be excited to hear what Dan has to tell you. I know he's excited about it as well as we are. So, again, I've been in this industry for 20 years, been in the insurance business, owned businesses myself, and guys, I am overly excited about what's coming with Vibe Direct. Heard about this from Dan a few months, actually before it ever started, before it ever launched. And folks, the more I hear and the more I see where this company's going, you're going to be excited as you hear this information as well. I'm going to be your MC. We've got some folks I'm going to bring on here and let you hear from. Is there any way to turn that noise off from?
Yeah, somebody needs to mute. They've got their cell phone annoying all of us there in the background. So whoever's got that, please do that.
Yeah, you guys mute your phones there. So okay. Jan Obrin is a friend of mine in Jupiter, Florida, and I want to tell you just a little bit about Jan before I bring her on. She's going to tell you a little bit about why she picked Vibe as well. Jan, just a little background on Jan. She spent 18 years in the commercial real estate industry, guys, and she's worked with large banking and investment companies, and just to name one we all know would be J.P. Morgan Chase. And she's also been a VP for some top banking institutions. So really, basically, to sum that up, she's a very astute business lady, and she's a sharp lady and become a friend of mine over the last couple of months as I've gotten to know her since we started with Vibe. Jan, can you hear me? Jan, can you hear me?
Okay. I think we're good,
there you
right?
Go.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks,
Jan,
Gary,
for joining us. Share with the folks why you're excited about Vibe.
Sure. And I am just meeting Barry. It's been a lot of fun. This is actually one of the great things in coming on board is I'm meeting a lot of new people, and we're getting to grow this business together. But from my perspective, Vibe has already made a huge impact on me personally. And it's done that in growing new friendships, and that's around the neighborhood. That's in the Vibe network, meaning the Vibe office. We have a really great back office. Barry and John, they're on the sales teams. They're growing teams. I'm growing teams. We talk just about daily. It's been great. It's been hard work, but a lot of fun too. I'm also reconnecting with old friends. So it's giving us a reason to meet and talk frequently. So I'm excited about that too, because there's a lot of people that I've lost touch with that I'm getting back in touch with again for this purpose. Financially, I'm already getting deposits. That's another great thing that's come my way since I've joined Vibe, and it's been very short. It's just been since mid-November that I joined. And I'm able to frequently give value to friends and family with Vibe Mobile and Vibe Deals. Those are the two services that are out now. There's many more coming. But overall, let me tell you, this works and the model works. You can put in as much time as you want. The returns do come. And the way that I see it, Vibe is providing a lifestyle, and it's doing that in providing choices to work as hard as you want and to carry those choices through to the services that Vibe offers. One example I can give is taking control of your phone plan, and that's by paying less, omitting contracts, and doing all of this from your home. I'm so happy that I don't have to go into a phone office anymore, and I can just do an activation at home on my computer. You fill out the form, you fill out the information, you get an email, they say put the SIM card in. So we're changing a lot in life, and that's why it is a lifestyle. Now we can even purchase our phones from Vibe, so that's great too. That's a real game changer. And this is all just the beginning. By the end of the call, bigger services and opportunities will be outlined. So that's that's pretty much all that I have, but it's a lot. And I want to thank you, Barry, for letting me speak about my direct experiences with Vibe. I'm building a team in Florida, and I already have reps on my team across the nation. So we're all in the right place at the right time. I can't stress that enough. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Barry. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Guys, I'll tell you, that lady right there is going to be a powerhouse in this business with this company, and not only bring her experience from the past, but she's going to help her team grow, and we're going to be excited to hear from a lot of her folks that are very successful in this. The next person I'd like to bring on just for a moment is someone I just recently met as well. Met her, Miss Bernadette Story. Met her at Vibe's office at their open house right before Christmas. And guys, I got to tell you, this lady, not only just being a sweetheart, and I told her she's got one of the most beautiful smiles I've ever seen, and she does. And I'll tell you, I watched a room full of about 24 people sit and listen to this lady. I'd like to say it like she was E.F. Hutton. I mean, she demanded the respect, and when she spoke, they listened. And I'm telling you, this lady has a tremendous amount of success as well as background in this industry. And I asked her to share just for a couple of minutes why she chose Vibe and why she's here. Bernadette, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and thanks for introducing me. Again, my name is Bernadette Story. I've been with the team since right before Christmas is when I joined. And I want to tell you something. The why I chose Vibe is because I knew John Grimm, and I worked with him on several projects. And he showed me an opportunity where everyone on my team could make a decent amount of money. And that has come true, okay? I have a growing downline, and I have leaders in place at the top of each one of my downline three team type things. And I guess since I started, I don't think there is anyone on my team that hasn't got paid, and that's saying a lot for this type of business, because sometimes you can get into something it's going to be really a great thing, and then it turns out to be a flop. For this one, everyone in my team has quick started. They brought in other people that have quick started, and everyone has gotten paid, and I've gotten paid every time payday roll around, Tuesday, Thursday, and the first of the month. So I'm very happy. And I think that we are going to grow to be a really good team, thanks to everyone at Vibe. Thank you.
Miss Bernadette, thank you for that. So, guys, the theme there is pretty simple. This company pays on time. You can make money quick. And here's who I'm going to introduce to you to bring the overview to you, two of my great friends. And I know as you meet them, you'll become friends with them as well. Sky Canyon and Larry Rowland are business partners and own their own marketing group, SL Marketing Group. And they've had many years in the traditional financial services industry, as well as many years in the relationship marketing business. And I've worked with them for a few years myself and have experienced the professionalism and the powerhouse that they are as leaders in this industry. And they have made a tremendous commitment to bring not only their expertise, but to bring their team and to Vibe Direct. And I'd like to introduce them to go through our presentation tonight. Sky and Larry, take off, guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Barry. This is Sky Canyon. Larry, say hi.
Hey guys, Larry Rowland here.
Okay,
Thanks, Barry.
We're just going to do a little bit of the Sky and Larry show here for a little bit. We're going to bring on Dan Robison, who is the one of the founder or co-founder. Dan, we're going to let you identify if you are the official just founder, if that's your title, or co-founder, or both. And because it's always fun to hear from Dan especially he may be driving up in that incredible little VW bus there, and we're going to talk about why everybody's going to want to ride in that eventually. So let's talk about, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Vibe, the overview on who this company is, how it got started, and what the products and services are, and how you earn money, and then we're going to really talk about, we'll bring Dan on shortly, and we'll try to get through this fairly quickly. It's Sunday night. So with that, who is Vibe Direct? Vibe Direct, Dan, Todd, and Jerry, these, well, we'll talk a little bit more about them in a second, but basically, marketing group. They started the company just this past year. They've got tremendous experience in network marketing, relationship marketing, in technology. They have a huge technology platform that's very scalable here. And it's really addressing what is, I think a lot of us are recognizing, the peer-to-peer economy, which is the real shift in the world of economics. It's where we're doing business with each other directly, not always going through middlemen. So let's take a look a little bit more about on the background here. So, Dan, Todd, and Jerry, they came from Excel Communications. They were top executives. And when I say executives, I mean corporate, the company, not just, freelance network marketers. With Excel. Excel is the fastest company to $1 billion on the New York Stock Exchange. They are famous for their comp plan, which is what's in play here. It's a comp plan where average people became millionaires. A lot of people that, didn't necessarily have tremendous, what you would call heavy hitter network marketing skills, and they were making 5 and even 6-figure monthly incomes, even 7-figure. So that's possible again here, and we're going to show you why that's true. So what do we have with Vibe Direct? We've got services that pretty much anybody can use. As Jan was talking about, you've got cell phone service, unlimited cell phone service. We've got the Vibe deals. We'll tell you a little bit more about that as well in a moment. And it really is something that most people, not just in the USA where we've started here, but around the world, many of these things will be an opportunity for people to use and an opportunity to create a real income. And you create that income just from doing some simple things yourself and as well helping your team become successful. But the first thing we want to talk about here is a service that's coming out shortly, March 1st, Vibe Rideshare. This is a disruptive technology. It really is the game changer. So let's look at that and the market for a second. So imagine, this is how I like to say it, imagine getting paid when somebody that you don't even know takes a ride share somewhere in the world, over and over and over. This can be huge. We actually believe that Vibe Rides can be the disruptor of the disruptor. Who is the disruptor? It's Uber, of course. They disrupted an industry. We believe we've got the next disruptor of that disruptor because commissions get generated on every ride, whether you're a driver or a rider or simply even a rep that happened to turn on other friends who are riders and or drivers. So this is staggering what can happen here. And the bigger piece here is, because a lot of people say, well, hey, Uber dominates the market. How are you going to grab share from them? Well, look at this article that came out last year from MarketWatch. 8-fold increase in the ride share industry over the next decade. Well, that tells you that it's wide open. It tells you that Uber is not going to be the only big player in this industry. It tells you that Lyft is also, they're a smaller player, but they've certainly gained traction. There will be more. And we have a model that's unique. They aren't doing this. We think they're going to love it. And we know actually for a fact that the Vibe drivers are going to come from Uber and Lyft. It's another application, as you can see on the screen. It's a driver app. It's a rider app. Those are free apps they can download. They've got another source of income. And every Uber driver that we talk to, that Dan talks to, that Barry talks to, that everybody on this team talks to, says sign me up immediately because they see the brilliance of this model and how they can actually leverage their time, meaning they can make more money doing the exact same thing that they already do just by sharing it with their other driver friends and with their captive audience, the customer, the rider that's in their car. So imagine this, Larry. So I'm a Uber driver. I'm not, but let's just say I am, and I become a Vibe driver, and I'm driving you around in the car, and I say, hey, by the way, Larry, I hope you enjoyed this ride here, and by the way, I'm going to give you my card. We've got other services. We've got unlimited cell phone data plans, and we've got streaming TV, and we've got discount deals. I'd like you to take a look at this, and boom, I've just identified somebody who potentially is going to become another customer, another rep. You can see how this can really expand. Larry, you want to comment on that?
Well, one bit of research we've been doing about Uber, we find out, these drivers are very entrepreneurial, and so what we think the end game here is with this program, drivers can be drivers. They can also be representatives for Vibe. Right. So they have an opportunity, to really build their own market and build their own income. Another interesting thing related to this, as you can imagine, we've looked a lot into Uber, size of the market and all. I read an article about Uber, and it's really interesting. One thing really stood out. Uber does not and has never considered themselves a transportation company or a taxi company. They view themselves as a technology company that provides a platform that does what? Links drivers and passengers. So that is the sharing economy that's coming that links a service provider directly with a customer. And I think Vibe rides and Vibe in general is a perfect example of that.
So we're going to come back around and talk a little bit more, some more details on the Vibe rides, and we're going to do that with Dan in a little bit here. But we're going to just tell you a little bit more first about two of the other products that are, the services rather, that are available right now that are good value. One of them is Vibe Mobile, unlimited data. So you can bring your own cell phone. Actually, there are now refurbished, warranted phones that are available for very cheap if you need one that way, but you can get an unlimited data plan through AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint. Do it through Vibe Mobile. It's $39.95 a month. For one phone, that's a pretty good deal. If you're doing a family deal, there are other companies that have family plans out there that certainly compete, but a lot of people have one phone. This is a great way to do it, and it's a very easy, seamless type of process to get involved in having your own Vibe Mobile service. Same thing. So if it's AT&T, it's AT&T channels, just like you would expect from AT&T or T-Mobile. And by the way, T-Mobile has a great deal going where if you enroll with them through Vibe Mobile, month number 6 and month number 12 are absolutely free. So that's a nice additional discount on this. And Vibe is paying the commissions that go along with that for those free months. Even though the customer is not paying, you're getting your commission. Vibe deals. So this is really interesting. So here is a place, it's an application on your computer or your phone where you can find discounts across the board. Now, we've all seen tons of discount programs out there, right? But here's the thing, and Larry and I were talking about this the other day. So it's for $14.95 a month. You can find, whether you're looking for a restaurant discount or maybe you need a shoe store or a clothing store or a garden and plant store, or it's automotive repairs, or it's a sports thing, whatever it is, whether it's online or if it's local. So, think about this. If you're looking, whatever it is that you're looking for and you're trying to find out there's a discount, where do you find that now? Do you Google? Do you go to Yelp? I mean, where do you find the discounts? So here you've got it all in one place. Really simple. We were talking with one of our teammates who told us when he signed up for this, I think, Larry, it was like in the first 3 weeks, he told us he saved $200 on that. So, Barry, I'd like you, I know you have one of your folks on, or one of John's folks on, Craig, to share about his experience with that. Can you bring him on?
Yes, absolutely, Sky. Craig Gordon, Brett, if you would unmute Craig. Craig, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, Craig, I can hear you. John's been telling me a lot of stories about your expertise that you have developed by using the Deals app. Could you briefly tell the folks some of your experience and what success you're having with that?
Yeah, Vibe Direct, of course, is awesome, and got into Vibe through my boss at work, and ended up getting downloading the app for Vibe Deals, signing up. I'm telling you, the weekend before, I had ordered food and had paid, a pretty good amount of money to order food, and then as soon as I got the app the following weekend, was able to get it and search for the place I wanted to eat, and it populated just everywhere. And I'm out in Bastrop, which is the outskirts of Austin, so you could just imagine it's not as developed as Austin. And so everything just started popping up. And so I ended up getting an awesome deal, I ordered pizza that particular weekend from Domino's and got a pizza for free. Basically paid for one and got another one for free. But the app is awesome. It's awesome. I'm serious, because they have places like Neiman Marcus, Men's Warehouse, Bales, Sears, you name it. I mean, so it's actually awesome. It reminds me of the old school coupon books we used to use. They used to come in like a cardstock, real colorful, and they would last a whole month. And so I've been able to get people on board with Vibe Deals easily, because they see the value. Basically, it pays for itself. And so a real awesome deal. I'm excited about Vibe in general, and I'm going to be quiet because I'm really excited about it.
Thank you, Craig. Sky, back to you, brother.
Thank you. Hey, Craig, that's great. Thank you. Really appreciate hearing about what your experience has been there. I mean, that's one of those easy things, and we're going to show you how this is a great. We're going to talk about the comp plan here in a second, and how this is one of the ways to fulfill simple requirements on the comp plan. But one of the other services also coming very soon, Vibe TV. You've seen things like that streaming. You've seen advertisements. Cut the cable. So again, an opportunity to have streaming TV, lots of channels, premium channels, everything else, and get it for a whole lot less than what we're all spending on DirecTV or Xfinity or some of the other giants who are realizing that they're about to go the way of the dinosaurs, the way this is happening. So as you can see, it's a lot of, we talked about in the beginning, practical stuff that people use, phones, TV. Everybody's looking for discounts when they shop, so great. We've got that and more coming, and of course the big flagship product, which is the Vibe Rides. So we're going to shift gears now, and we're going to talk about, so how do you make money? What's in it for me? If I'm going to join this company, what do I do, and how do I make money at this, and how do I share it with my friends? So with that, Larry, do you want to start on the first part of this?
Well, let me just start on the first part. We did a detailed training on the compensation plan Saturday, and we'll probably continue to do some of that. But I think the place to start on that is to draw a contrast. I mean, this is what the company calls relationship marketing, as opposed to other direct sales structures or typical, maybe more traditional network marketing that really puts a lot of difficult requirements on people. This is about two things: gathering customers, friends, family, and helping them gather customers as well. The whole compensation plan is based on that. So let's look at it, Sky, and go on to the next slide. This compensation plan has three distinct revenue channels: a quick start, royalty, and coding bonus. And it's for a good reason. The company knows, and this is based on the Excel coding bonus leadership program that a lot of people are aware of, but the company knows, and it's some common sense, you have to have a quick start program. People have to make money quickly, and this quick start program provides that. It's also got an incredible monthly residual opportunity, because long term, that's what we're all looking for. And then for people that really want to build big teams and build serious wealth and income, it's also got the coding bonus. So it's really designed to appeal to the average part-time person that wants to make a little bit extra money to help pay the bills. That's easy. We can show you that. And also to the big team builder. So Sky, why don't you go through step one there.
All right. So, well, thank you, Larry. So, the first thing, and really this entire model is really, really simple and very easy to duplicate. And I am hearing some noise on the phone. Somebody, sounds like somebody might be driving in a car, so could you mute, please, while we're going on here? Thank you. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to get 3 customers, which gives you a customer point, personal customer point. And it's really easy to do that because you've got the phone service that somebody can buy. You've got the Vibe deals, which is $14.95 a month. And, in fact, you can be your own customer here. So it's very, very easy to get started and qualify. And what happens when you have 3 customers, boom, you've quick started. You earned a quick start bonus, $50 on your own when you do that. And you earn now every time anybody on your team quick starts. So not just people that you've personally introduced, but literally anybody, anywhere in your team quick starts, you will earn bonuses, $20 on the people who you directly sponsor who quick start, and $5 down 7 levels on everybody in your organization. We'll show you a little bit of a picture in a bit of what that can look like. So it's a very easy thing to do. So again, a PCP, a personal customer point, occurs when you or anybody on your team buys one of the services. This guy
also, let's say this quick start process, it's important to understand because this is really the core activity of the entire Vibe compensation plan. This is what allows it to duplicate so easily as you build a team, because in reality, although there's a few little nuances, for the most part, it's this quick start process over and over that's building bonuses and commissions upline. And so, you know, the simple thing that a lot of people have heard of just referring 3 people and helping them do the same thing and everybody buying their 3 customer points through the products, that is the activity to duplicate. And if that can be, you know, duplicated on a quick basis, you can rise up through the coded bonuses, you know, extremely fast.
Which leads to the second activity, which really you can do at the same time you're creating the 3 customer points. Refer 3 friends that do the same, 3 representatives, 3 independent reps. They do the same thing. If you do that in 21 days, it advances you to power player. And we're going to show you what that means because that's where the earnings start to kick in at another level. So let's talk now about the coding leadership bonuses, which happen when you're a power player. So this is where, going back to Excel and what they do with their comp plan, why it was so famous, coding leadership bonuses, this is where you start to earn really significant amounts on this. And when you're a power player, now you can get paid to unlimited levels on coding bonuses, and we'll show you in a moment the chart on what those can be. But the key here is that, so in other words, it's not just 7 levels like you would earn on your royalties and your quick starts. It's literally unlimited. And the incentive here is to build your team. It's really, it's designed to help you work with people anywhere in your organization. So coming back to relationship marketing, it's not just work with the people that you directly sponsored. You're going to end up meeting people brand new in your organization, and you're going to have a lot of reasons to want to help them. So some of us do that anyway, but you're going to see financially there's a lot of great reasons to do that. So what happens with the quick start? Again, quick start, a rep comes on, they get 3 customers, PCP, personal customer points. Anywhere in your organization, you get a coding bonus once you've gotten to power player level. That's pretty amazing. And it actually goes up, the dollar value of that coding bonus. The dollar amount of that goes up successively as you attain greater levels in the comp plan, and it's paid every Friday. By the way, the quick starts are paid on Tuesdays, and the coding bonuses are paid on Fridays for the prior week. So you get paid quickly here. So let's take a look, coding bonus. What does that look like? So as you can see here, there you are in the middle, and you've brought on some customers. Let me use the pen here just to make it really, really clear. So you've brought on a customer there, and all these people are customers right here and here and here, and customers. And then you've brought on some reps, okay, that have gotten involved. And these reps have actually, some of them become power players. And, of course, you've become a power player, and now you're getting coding bonuses because you've got people quick starting. New reps come on and they quick start wherever they are in your organization. This is just showing 3 levels, but the coding bonuses go on to unlimited levels. Really strong. And let's take a look here on the next slide. Let me erase those drawings. Let's just take a look at the coding bonuses. Larry, talk about these.
Well, the power player is the first level of the coded bonuses. And if you think back just a few slides back, we were talking about the quick start. Every time somebody quick starts, which is, buy or sell 3 PCP, then if that happens in your PowerPoint, once you're a power player, every time that quick start happens, now your commission is $40. And so now you begin to see why this coded bonus program can be so lucrative. It goes from $40 to $70 to $90 as you progress up the coded levels. But what's generating that, the catalyst for that, are brand new people coming in, getting started, relationship marketing, quick starting, so infinite levels deep, 40, 70, 90, 100, all the way up. And it's all based on the quick start process. Now, there are a few additional requirements to move from power player to team player to senior player, but they're primarily just based on a sound management principle of creating management at your own level, then moving up to the next level. So, for example, to get from power player to team player, you have to have 25 people who quick start. But to move from team player to senior partner, you just have to create 5 team players. In other words, bring 5 people up to the same level that you are. And what Sky was talking about is, to me, it's the fun part of the business, helping people succeed. But, you are simply mentoring, helping people in your group achieve what you did. And when you have done that, in the case of being a team player, when you've got 5 people and you've helped them achieve the same level as you, then you're promoted to senior partner, and the coded bonuses dramatically increase. And so you can see pretty quickly how this type of compensation plan has sort of become famous and, as a lucrative program.
And remember, unlimited levels, that does mean that eventually, if you're somebody that wants to work this, and whether you're working fast or slow or at any pace, and you're gradually building it, and honestly, this might just be that you're not a heavy-duty network marketer. I mean, I don't think of myself that way at all. I just like to talk to people and share stuff that I'm enthusiastic about. But honestly, you might just turn on a handful of people, and one of them might be a big player, or one of them might bring somebody in who's a really strong builder, or even a few more levels down. You could have somebody down at level 200, and you're earning these coding bonuses, and you don't even know who they are or where they are. So that's the beauty of this, and why it's so powerful, and why the opportunity is pretty exceptional in terms of your ability to earn. So now let's look at the last way that you earn here. And again, this is an overview. We do a comprehensive comp plan training. We actually have a recording of that from the one that we did, that was just yesterday morning. And we go into a lot more detail, but this is just to give you a flavor of what is possible here. So what's the royalty? That's the residual income that happens because you have customers throughout your organization, and you're earning some of them 50 cents on some levels, and some of the products $1 on every level on every customer. And there's no limit to the number of customers. Now remember, if somebody wants to quick start, they need 3 customers. So you can see that your organization, as it grows, it has to consist of, no matter how many independent reps, you've got customers. That means you're getting a residual paid out on the 5th of every month for the prior month on all of those customers, actually down through 7 levels. But the more people that you directly sponsor, that you've got more legs going down 7 levels. So you can see that this can potentially grow to be huge. And it's very easy to gain eligibility to be earning all the way through the 7 levels. I mean, really, kudos to Dan. We're going to bring Dan on here in just a second. Kudos to Dan and his team and Jerry and Todd for creating a way for people, really for the average person, to have something that can be exceptional here. And, exceptional for some folks means I've got an extra $500 or $1,000 a month coming in because I spent some time to build this up. And for the next person, it might be, no, they want to make $3,000 or $5,000 a month. And, there are some people that say, I'm going to turn this into a gold mine and make 6 figures a month or even 7 figures a month. You can actually do that at any level that you want here. Nobody's pressuring you to do anything other than what you like to do. And we all know that if you start making money really quickly, you kind of go, wow, that was kind of fun and that was easier than I thought, and I guess I can do a little bit more. So we're always here to help. We're going to come back around and talk a little bit more about Vibe Rides. And what I'd like to do is bring Dan on to talk about the company and the vision and Vibe Rides. Dan, are you available? And you might need to *6 to unmute yourself. Meanwhile, we'll be listening to Marcel Marceau do a special interpretation of Vibe Rides. But Dan, are you here?
Dan, press *6 on your phone and it'll unmute you.
Hey, Jan, we've unmuted
I'm
you.
here.
Can we get you to hand the phone to him?
Can you hear me?
He's on.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Hey, Sky. I'm here. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. You're echoing a little bit. I'm not sure if you're speaking on a speakerphone or...
No, that's because I walked in, so I'll put my phone on mute.
Oh, okay, thanks. So, all right, folks, this is Dan Robinson, founder. He is, he and his partners are the brains behind all of this. These guys have tremendous background in, as I mentioned, in technology. They built Excel to a multi-billion-dollar company. They built another telecom in Europe after that. I mean, Dan is just a consummate professional. We are thrilled to be working with Dan, and especially to have him join us on a call, because, Dan, we know that you're kind of 24/7 busy with many facets here. So let's talk a little bit, Dan, about a few more things on Vibe Rides, and in general about the company.
Hey, Sky. Sure. Thank you for having me tonight. I appreciate the introduction. I appreciate all the kind words. I will answer your question from the very beginning. I am one of the founders, and I am very fortunate to have 2 guys who I've known for over 30 years be involved in this with me. They are exceptionally bright, very talented guys, and together we came together with a good idea in mind and a better idea to come. And so before we get into Vibe Rides, I want to kind of emphasize the importance and the value of these services we have today. Guys, don't overlook the benefit and the reward of the mobile service and the Vibe deals and Vibe TV and the several other things we'll be having coming out. They're really valuable to your business, and they allow you to get a team going, to learn how the marketing plan works. So getting involved today is very important. And what Sky wants me to focus on tonight, and I think is the most exciting for everybody, is where we're going in the very near term. And just to summarize, we're going to build a platform that's going to benefit you in a number of ways. And that platform is going to start out by offering the ability to suggest people download a very free app and use the app, and it'll create commissions from a rideshare program. So we're going to compete with the Uber and Lyft of the world. We're going to ask people to download the free app, and we're going to pay commission on every ride. So we see this as a huge game changer. We are going to be a disruptor, and the number of commissions this thing's going to create on literally a daily basis, I think, is going to change our industry and be talked about for a very long time. So I think that all of you that are here tonight and that have been involved for a number of weeks. Literally, we've only been around now 4 or 5 weeks. You're going to see the value of where we're going very soon, and I hope that you've already recognized that we're very transparent in what we do. We try to do things right. We're certainly not right every time, but we correct things very rapidly, and our goal is to create an incredible income for a lot of people involved. And I will just say, and hand it back to you, Sky, you can ask me questions, but I will say we are very fortunate and appreciative of all the incredible people we do have involved today. I can't begin to name everybody's name, but this thing is growing very rapidly, and it's going to be exciting. I will tell people this, you know, my involvement in this kind of an industry started about 30 years ago, and what we were doing is we were selling a direct dial long distance program that you had to sign a 3-part form and you had to fax it in, and we data entered it at the office, and it took 3 weeks to get activated. And it was one service. And we created, we had just literally billions of dollars in income that we paid out to a field of people. We created multimillionaires over virtually every state in the country. And so what we're doing today, we are building this system on a proven platform. The marketing plan works. We're going to add multiple services, and when we load on this Vibe Ride application, it's really going to change a lot of people's lives. So, Sky, do you have some specific questions I can answer? Where would you like for me to go with this?
I definitely one question, and thank you for sharing that and giving that kind of a perspective, Dan. It's really valuable, I think, for everybody to, you're hearing from one of the co-founders of the company here as to where this is going. So here's a real key that people always ask us. I know the answer, but I'd like you to state it in your own words, Dan.
Sure.
So, the Vibe app comes out. This launches March 1st. It's coming right up. And they're going to say, well, where are all the drivers? How do you have drivers everywhere? How do I get a ride?
Right. Well, one of the things we're very proud of is having solved that issue, because a lot of companies have come and gone trying to solve that issue. And what we've done is we've gone to the major carriers themselves and struck an agreement to where we can offload riders. If we don't have a Vibe driver, we can offload riders and still maintain a profit margin that enables us to pay a commission and reward people for the referral. So simply what the system's going to do is look first for a Vibe driver. If a Vibe driver in that particular area is not available, we'll offload that to a Lyft or Uber driver. We'll notify the rider that we're still growing in their area and that we're trying to add new drivers, but none are available right now. So we're going to complete the ride for you, and we'll deliver the information just as we would with on our own platform. We'll show them a picture of the driver, a picture of the car, a picture of the license plate, all the information provided by the other carriers, and we'll complete the ride. So literally, from minute one of us launching this on March 1st, we will complete that very first ride. And what's that going to do? That's going to create 7 commissions plus whoever has their rep key in that particular app. And so 8 people total are going to get paid on that ride. And imagine the duplication that can begin to take place there. Because as they tell other people, friends that they know, neighbors, family, to download the app and put their rep key in it, and then those people in turn begin to ask, well, what in the world are you doing? I want to get involved. They become reps. They get their own rep key. They tell their friends, and it creates a family of people who all use the service. Think of the multiplication factor here. And then if you want to, and I'll hand it back to you in a second, but think about what can happen if you put drivers in your team, because drivers can become reps too. Let me make it clear that you don't have to be a rep to be a driver or a rider. The app is going to be downloadable out of the Apple Store and out of Google Play, free for anybody out there who wants to use it as a service to get somewhere. But if you also want to be a rep, in becoming a rep, you're going to get a rep key, which is going to allow you to earn from telling people who tell people who tell people. So drivers typically drive 15 or 20 trips a day. So I'm going to be looking personally for as many drivers as I can get into my team, because that earns me 15 or 20 commissions a day. And then as drivers begin to tell other drivers, and you start adding 15 and 20 commissions per day, per driver, per level, think about the amount of money that begins to pile up in your back office, which is paid weekly. So I think the multiplication factor here is almost insurmountable by anyone in our industry, and people will quickly recognize that. And what you're going to find is that big players from other companies are going to see what we're doing. They're going to want to become involved, and I think that's where we blow this thing up.
Without question. And I hope everybody here realizes the enormity of what it means to launch and immediately have 100% fulfillment of the service. Not just, oh, well, it's available in Los Angeles or Dallas or Miami. It's available everywhere. That's a game changer, Dan.
Yeah, let me ask you another one, Dan, that we're excited about, and we kind of know the answer, but as you know, we've got a lot of international people on our team, and while this is going to start in the U.S., can you talk about how we will eventually expand quickly internationally as well?
Well, I'd love to, Larry. Thanks for bringing that up. That's a very good point, because what we're building here, folks, is a platform that can go nationwide very quickly and worldwide very quickly. And it's literally a matter of adding languages and changing currencies. And we can open in multiple countries very rapidly. That means earning from not only the U.S. but from other countries, because as this thing begins to grow, naturally you're going to have expansion worldwide. And so in no other peer-to-peer marketing group can you expand as rapidly as what we can with a rideshare program like this. So that is our goal. And in fact, on top of that, Larry, we can add other services. So we can be the shared services platform in which we bring together a lot of providers and a lot of people that need. So let's say you need your pool cleaned, and there's a guy down the street who cleans pools. Well, he signs in to say, I'm ready to clean pools today, and you need your pool cleaned. Just as you need a ride down to the local restaurant or to the airport, he's ready to clean your pool that day, except we'll be different than the Angie's Lists and all the others, because we're going to pay 8 different commissions on every service that we match up with a provider. And so we will be different. We'll be an industry disruptor, and we're going to make a lot of people rich along the way.
Dan, one of the things that we often hear from the established folks, Uber and even Lyft, a lot of the drivers are not really thrilled with their company. So I would like for you to just talk a little bit about how does Vibe see treating the drivers, the Vibe drivers. Talk just a little bit of nuance there about how it's creating a different kind of company culture.
Well, that's a good question. We have a lot of internal conversation going on about that right now. We're trying to create some uniqueness to our offering that empowers the drivers in a number of ways. And I'll just give you an example. One of those is a security level that we feel is necessary in the marketplace. And, we may have Vibe or Uber executives on here listening, and we may prompt them to act before we get out there in the marketplace, but let me just throw out a suggestion that if there was an upgraded driver category in which a younger kid or a woman of some degree would need a ride home, maybe late at night, and would like to have somebody that they could rely on a little more than just a random driver, there'd be some designation that they could request in their ride, and either somebody with a military, police, fire background of some type could have a specific designation in which they could fulfill that ride if they're in the area. I mean, we're thinking through a lot of different scenarios that make us stand out, amongst the others, but we are going to value our riders, and we're doing that specifically through the ability for them to become reps and earn additional commissions on top of the commission that they earn anyway to fulfill the ride. So I see most of our drivers becoming reps because not only do they know a lot of other drivers in the industry that they can refer into their downline and earn money from them, but they can increase their income from every ride. So, we're definitely going to value the rider and the driver, and I think you'll see that when we launch our app. I think it's going to be pretty obvious.
Fantastic. And I think, Dan, it's also important to point out that the drivers they're still going to earn like they would be earning, I don't know, maybe even more for driving, because these commissions that are being paid out are coming from the company's side. They're not coming off of the driver's piece.
That's right. The drivers, we're going to match their income with Uber or Lyft for the specific drive. So anybody can download the driver app, go through the acceptance process. We're going to do it the same as everybody else. We're going to do the background check, the criminal check, the card check, the insurance check. Everything's going to be valid before we approve that driver. But they don't have to have anything to do with Vibe, and they can simply be a driver and earn the same money they would on every trip that they complete. But by also being a rep, they can add a commission on top to that income, and it doesn't dilute the income they earn at all. We're just simply taking the net portion out of the income that we make and distributing it amongst the people who advertise for us. That's simply what we're doing. We're diverting advertising money, and we're paying it back to those people that go out and spread the good word.
Dan, it's interesting. We had a conversation the other day. Yesterday, actually. Boy, these days are long. It was just yesterday. But we had a conversation with a gentleman who's been a consultant to network marketing companies and worked, internationally. And he looked at this. He joined, and he said, "I believe this will be the biggest network marketing deal of 2019." You were on that call.
I was, and Jesus is a sharp guy, and you could tell he knows the industry. He's worked with a number of very big companies. He has a lot of respect from a lot of people out there, and that was a real pleasing thing to hear, because he feels like, hey, we've found something that allows people to earn commissions without actually having to go out and sell some type of product. All we're doing is we're telling people to download a free app and put our rep key in that app, and then go take Vibe down to the restaurant, out to the airport, around town, whatever you need to do. Use the rideshare service, and we'll show you how slick it is, how simple the whole process is, and you're helping me in my business. And that's simply what you're going to tell all your neighbors to do. And as people become more aware of Vibe, those commissions are going to start really clicking off like being in a casino in Vegas, I think. It's going to just be a constant commission dropping into your bucket all day long. What other business is out there in our industry that creates commissions multiple times every single day? And that's really what we're looking at here. Without selling a thing, all you're doing is recommending a really good service and earning a commission from it, and I think that's going to prove to be very valuable.
Well, without question, and especially right now with the January promo where you can get involved. It's very easy, some simple qualifications, and you can earn double commissions for the first 6 months on the Vibe ride. So if you ended up earning $500 over that 6 months, you'd earn $1,000. If you earn $5,000, you'd end up with $10,000, and so on and so forth. So that's extraordinary. We'll provide more details on that, but it's very, very simple to do that. So Dan, thank you. Really appreciate you being here, and let's just show people how easy it is to get involved. Right here on screen, there's two ways that you can be a rep. You can be an independent rep, which is really what everybody here is interested in, because that means you can earn all of these different ways of earning commissions. The coding bonuses, the quick starts, et cetera, et cetera. It's $199 one time to set it up. You got a $4 a month charge for the replicated website, and that's it. You don't have to buy products every month. This is not a company where you got to fill up a garage full of lotions, potions, and all of that kind of stuff. But it's very easy to build a team. Some people will be an independent retailer for $49, but all that allows you to do is refer customers, period. You cannot build a team. A nonprofit, a church group might find that useful if they want to get their constituency involved in being customers. But I don't think anybody here is looking to do that. Everybody here is looking to do something that can really start to build them some real income. So to conclude on all of this, recap, this is very timely. I mean, Larry, let's talk about, these bullet points here, these check mark points. Do you want to go through this?
Well, I don't think we can overemphasize the fact that I don't like to use the word easy, but compared to a lot of things that probably a lot of people on this call have been involved in, I mean, this is relatively easy to ramp up a pretty attractive income quickly, and we might as well just say that it is true. And so the relationship marketing with the coded bonuses, I mean, we're obviously a big fan of. This business trend that's happening now, the peer-to-peer shared economy, just do some research if you're taking a look at the business. I mean, this is happening with or without Vibe. Vibe's going to be a big part of it. And, of course, the way to capitalize on this is not to wait until it's here. You want to be out in front of that big momentum wave, ready for it. And then, being in the right time at the right place really does matter here. So I think the other thing, Dan's a little modest on it, but when you're evaluating a company, you've got to have capable leadership. And that is the case here, successful track record. We don't know what all products will come. This app-based economy is growing. There are a lot of creative ideas out there. The company will probably come out with services for the peer-to-peer apps we haven't even thought of yet. So, it's a great timing right now to be out in front of a trend that's about to happen.
That's it. That's the whole overview. Hopefully you got a good feeling for what we have here that's launching very big. I don't know if this will be the biggest new network marketing deal of 2019, but as you can see, it's something disruptive. It's not just another improved version of CBD oil, just as an example, because everybody's coming out with the latest, greatest on something like that. So, and I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying, we're not another, Me Too. This is totally unique, as you can see. With that, any questions? We'll entertain a few questions. I'll turn off the recording.
This session is no longer being recorded.
And then we let everybody go have dinner, family time, etc. Let's see. Hold on. Let's.
Q&A session has started.
Barry, I'm trying to set it so anybody can star 6 if they have a question.
Yeah, we've got
Brett.
people that are queuing up to ask questions. I'll just start to unmute them. Everyone, if you have a question, there's a little icon on the toolbar that will put you in the question queue. If you would do that, I would appreciate it, and that way we can have a little bit of organization here. So Candace is our first person. I'll unmute her. Candace, go ahead.
Okay, I have a couple of things. I guess it will be given that we're going to be able to, when we get a driver, we're going to be able to give them a Vibe sticker to put on their car. That's what I'm assuming. Somebody, Parnell Marketing says it's a given.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Great idea. I'm sure we can answer affirmatively for Dan that there will be stickers.
Good, because that's what you look at the car and you look for the Uber sticker or the Lyft sticker,
right.
And now we want the Vibe sticker, which is awesome.
You bet.
The other thing I'd like to suggest that would open up a a world of more participants with Vibe drivers is that Uber, Lyft, and the other one that you know of that's going to be launching, okay, and a couple others, they're all sticklers for the car has to be 10 years or younger, okay. I'd say that I don't know if that can happen, but if you had a car that's 15 or younger with the ability to show that that car is in excellent condition, has low mileage, maybe go through an inspection, a car inspection, and send it back to the Vibe headquarters to show that the car is in really good shape and has low mileage. Like for instance, for me, I have a Mazda 6, 2007. It would not pass the requirement of 10 years. However, I only have 70,000 miles on my car, and it's in excellent condition.
Okay. Yeah, good question. I think, Dan, I'm sure the team is probably going to look at things like that. It's a very good question.
Yeah, and that would open the door for a lot more people to be able to drive for Vibe.
Certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good point.
I've heard, I want, look, anything that we say, unless Dan chimes in here and affirms something, you guys take it as just us hearing about it, okay? So what I'll say is I've heard that talk of that, so that's being considered right now and a definite possibility. So just watch and just to put a caveat on all this, guys, everything that we do, we will hear more. There's been a lot of questions in the chat about the comp plan and how things are going to work. All the details of that are yet to be determined, or should I say, better said, yet to be released. And we'll just wait for Dan to confirm anything like that, but I know that's a category that's being worked on. So anyway, just wanted to inject that in. Go ahead.
Good, thank you.
Okay. And so my last question, the rep key. So I guess you have to do belly to belly to have them download the app in front of you to make sure they put down that rep key, or how can we market this safely on the internet besides belly to belly?
Barry, can you talk more about that? Or Dan, are you here to talk still?
Yeah, if Dan was here, that'd be a good question for him to answer right now. Dan, can you star 6 and jump in?
If Dan is not still here, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically right now, Candace, as far as having a replicatable, downloadable app, that's a detail that we don't know yet. The majority of it right now is going to be belly to belly, but I'm sure I know there's a lot of things being worked on, and I know that's a very vague answer. I don't have a definitive answer to give you on that, but as soon as we know, we will let you know what the capabilities of being able to share it from a viral perspective online. I know it's been talked about a lot because we have a lot of people that
QR codes, by text,
right,
by email,
exactly.
things like that. There's a lot of different ways to electronically communicate, without being in person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, guys.
You got it. Thanks, Candace. Okay. Anybody else?
We've got two more people here that are queued up. Terry is next. Hey, Terry, go ahead.
I had a question. I assume since it's $199 one time, if they had someone that was waiting to sign, but the sponsor did not have the $199, they would, I'm assuming.
Terry, we didn't hear your question.
What's the question?
Okay, in order to sign up, the person has to have their $199 ready to sign up. They can't say, "Oh, let me sign up for free and then let's sign someone else up." Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And one more thing, I want to just make this clear. Are you saying that March 1st, the company will be ready to start doing business with rides and all?
I think that's a target date. That's the goal, but that is a target date.
Okay, that's the target date. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Terry. Forrest, go ahead.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Forrest. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. Quick question for you, and Barry, and I don't know if Brett's on here. You guys know me. I'm a marketing viral guy, so you guys answered those questions about having the rep key built into a downloadable link, which would be very exciting coming up down the road. Are we going to have a Vibe Ride sizzle video opportunity overview, something that we can put on a lead capture page to drive people into a lead bucket or something here coming up shortly?
So I know for sure that that's being worked on, but we don't have anything as of yet. So basically, unfortunately, Dan, I don't think can unmute. I think Jan had to get him on a while ago. So, but I know that that's something that definitely is worked on. I know the script is set up for it. I know there's a couple of things that they're finalizing on that, but it's definitely something they're going to have ready to go.
Right on. Thank you.
Thanks, Forrest. That's it, Sky.
All right. Hey, thanks, everybody. It was
Thanks,
a long
guys.
call. We went over an hour, but we really appreciate your being here. Hopefully you got inspired. Please get back to whoever introduced you here. We are always here to help. Barry's here to help. Brett, the whole team. So let's make it go because it is going. So let's see. When's the next call? Well, definitely Sunday nights. We may have another call sometime during the week. We do have a comp plan training call that we went into more detail that we have recorded as well. So reach out to us for that if that will be helpful to you. And you're going to see more and more marketing materials and videos and all that kind of stuff just to kind of